All right, guys, so we are done with our portrait session example. We've gone through, we've culled it, we've done our basic processing, our advanced processing, and we've even selected out our blog and portfolio images. Now it's time to get our images out of Lightroom. We got to get them exported and into a format that we can actually use them. So in the next sequence of videos, we're going to teach you guys how to export as well as how to archive your images based on this workflow system. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is actually rename the images that we're going to be exporting. I like to actually rename the image that we'll be exporting so that we don't need to rename them during the export process. And also they're going to differ from the images that we're delivering versus the ones that we're not, okay? So let's get started. What we're going to do is turn on our filters so we select all the images that we're actually delivering to our client or that we're actually going to keep or print or do whatever we want with, okay? We're going to select all these images by hitting Control A or Command A on a Mac, and then we're going to hit F2, or you can also go up in the menu and just go under Library and then go to Rename. So F2 is the easy way to get there. F2, and then what we're going to do is we're going to name this. We have a system of naming where basically we start with the groom's first name or the guy's first name, the initial, sorry, and then we go with the girl's initial, PA, and then we go, let's say, wherever it was shot. So we'd say like Laguna Beach. Actually, this was San Juan Capistrano. So we'll say San Juan Capistrano. Now, typically for SEO purposes, we actually write out the places and locations, and then I'll add on what type of photography it was, engagement photography. Okay, or we can say portrait session or whatever you guys like. But this is our system for naming. Now we're gonna save this and we want to actually create a new file naming preset. So let's do this real quick. We're gonna hit edit. And then what we want to do is change this sequence right here. Actually, let's delete it out just in case you guys don't have anything there. Let's create it from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to add custom text, which is something that we type in right there in that window. And you're just going to say insert to have that field available. Next, we're going to add a dash. And then you're going to put a 4-digit sequence starting with 0. And the reason why we do this and we don't start the sequence with 1 is so that certain systems, particularly like Pictage or SmugMug, sometimes they have a hard time sorting images in order when they don't start with sequences that begin with 0. If they start with 1, sometimes they get them out of order. So we start with 0 just to make sure every system, basically, even the file system, gets confused sometimes. So we started off with 0, so it's always in the correct order, at least up to 9,999. All right, so at this point, we would hit Insert, and then we're going to hit Done. Actually, let's say, okay, so we save this out as a new preset. We're going to call it standard file name. Hit create, and that's fine. Then we can just go, I already had it set up as standard export file name, but we have standard file name. All right, so we select that. It shows you the example of what it's going to look like right below, and that's great. We're going to hit OK, and now it renames all the photos that we have selected. So the 163 that we're going to deliver are renamed. The rest are left with their default image names. All right, so now at this point, we're going to actually export. All right, so let's go on to the next video where we're going to start setting up our export presets.